Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting personal. We're exploring the whole journey of building a dream home, right here in the USA.
Hmm.
Owning a home is one thing, lots of people aspire to that. But deciding to actually build it from scratch, that feels like a much deeper, more individual kind of vision.
It really is.
Mm.
We're looking at that interesting place where dreams meet, well, a lot of planning.
Yeah.
The idea of owning a home is pretty common, sure,
Mhm.
but building one,
Yeah.
that has layers of complexity and definitely a big emotional investment.
Yeah.
It's pretty unique.
Exactly. It's not just about finding a structure, is it? It's about making a dream real. Think about those first ideas. Maybe something you saw online, like Pinterest, or a cool feature in a friend's place.
Or even just a sketch on a napkin sometimes.
Right, just doodling it out, imagining that perfect kitchen, where you'll have family dinners, or the living room, seeing it filled with laughter, and the outdoor spaces, just picturing the memories you'll make there.
Those initial ideas, they're
Yeah.
so important. They really fuel the whole thing because, let's be honest, it can be a demanding process.
Hmm.
But, and some of the research shows you've got to balance that excitement with a pretty realistic view of what's ahead.
And that journey, it sounds exciting, sure, but also like it throws up some serious challenges. Building a dream home. It sounds romantic, but people often say it's one of the toughest things they've ever done. Complexity seems to be a big theme.
Oh, absolutely. That initial phase, it's often pure creativity, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're putting together mood boards, spending hours online looking at designs, maybe making those first sketches. But then inevitably, that creative energy bumps up against, well, the practical stuff.
Budgets, timelines, all that.
Exactly. Budgets, timelines, regulations,
Yeah.
a whole host of things.
Those first sketches, though, so full of hope. But then, yeah, reality hits. Construction costs, material prices going up and down, those surprise expenses that just appear.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the dream has to kind of negotiate with what's actually possible.
And that point, that collision between the vision and the budget,
Yeah.
that's a really critical moment.
Yeah.
It forces a shift. Building isn't just creative, it becomes strategic.
Mm.
It demands a huge emotional commitment and obviously a very careful, flexible financial plan. Your sources really highlight that.
Okay, let's really unpack some of these hurdles because the dream is powerful, but getting there means overcoming some big ones. The first one that always comes up, finding the right piece of land. It's way more than just liking the view, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Looks and location matter, sure, but there's this whole other layer of things you have to check.
Like what?
Things like zoning, or what are you actually allowed to build there? Drainage is huge.
Yeah.
You don't want water problems later. Utilities is water, sewer, power, easily accessible.
Yeah.
Or is that going to cost a fortune?
Right.
School districts, that matters to you. Even future development nearby, what's planned for the area around you.
And getting that wrong, that sounds like it could have really serious long-term effects. Not just money up front, but headaches down the road.
Exactly. You could build your dream house and then find out you can't add that pool you wanted, or you're constantly dealing with a soggy backyard. It undermines the whole point.
Okay, so land is secured, hopefully without hidden issues.
Right.
What's next? The permits and regulations. Sounds like fun.
Huh. Well, it's certainly a phase. This is where the romance can meet bureaucracy.
The paperwork, I read about stacks and stacks of forms.
It can definitely feel like that. You're navigating this web of city, county, sometimes state rules, building codes, inspections. They're all different depending on where you are.
And you have to follow them to the letter.
Absolutely non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You need permission for pretty much everything.
So anyone thinking about this needs a heads up. Expect delays and lots of admin.
That's a very wise expectation to set early on. It can be slow, frustratingly slow sometimes.
Right. So you've got the land, you've battled the permits, now you need the people to actually build it, assembling the team.
Crucial step. This is all about the human element, getting the right mix of expertise and, honestly, personalities.
We're talking builder, architect, maybe a designer, contractors.
Exactly, your core team. These aren't just people you hire. They're partners in this massive project.
Yeah.
Their skills, how they communicate, whether they actually get your vision, that's all critical for things to go smoothly. A good team spots problems before they happen.
But a bad team. I saw that phrase, dream turn nightmare. That sounds ominous.
They can happen. Miscommunication, different ideas about the design, just a lack of trust.
Yeah.
It can derail everything. delays, costs going up, maybe even compromises on the final quality.
So trust and clear communication are absolute must-haves.
Non-negotiable.
Okay, communication's key. But then there's just the sheer number of decisions you, the homeowner, have to make. It sounds overwhelming.
It really can be. It's not just the big stuff like the layout.
No.
No, it's everything, down to the tiniest detail. What kind of flooring in this room versus that room? What style of doorknobs? Which exact shade of white for the trim? Countertop materials, thicknesses? The list just goes on and on.
Wow. Decision fatigue must be a real thing, just constantly choosing and probably second-guessing yourself all the time.
Very common. People talk about feeling totally overwhelmed, and that feeling actually can lead right into the next challenge. Budget creep.
Ah, yes, the budget. It almost feels inevitable that it's going to grow, right?
Yeah, it often does. You start with a plan, feels solid, but then,
Little things add up.
exactly, change orders happen. Maybe they find something unexpected when digging. Or you see an upgrade you really want now.
Oh, while we're at it syndrome.
That's a big one. While we're at it, let's just upgrade and each little thing adds up. Suddenly you're way over the original number.
So it's almost guaranteed you'll go over budget. It's just a question of how much.
It's definitely something to brace for. Plan a contingency fund.
Yeah.
And that financial stretch often links to the timeline stretching too.
Right. Those initial estimates, like 6 to 8 months, often turn out to be optimistic.
Very often, yeah. Reality tends to throw curveballs.
What kind of things cause the delays, typically?
Oh, lots of things. Weather is a big one, obviously. Can't pour concrete in a blizzard.
Sure.
Labor shortages. Sometimes you just can't get the right crew scheduled when you need them. Material back orders have been a huge issue lately.
Right. Supply chains.
Exactly. And then just unexpected problems. They open a wall and find something weird,
Yeah.
or an inspection requires a change. It all adds time.
So patience. Not just nice to have, but essential.
Absolutely critical. You have to be prepared for things to take longer. And dealing with all of this, the rules, the money, the delays, it takes an emotional toll.
Yeah, I can imagine. It sounds incredibly stressful.
It is. It's personal. The stakes feel high. There will probably be moments of doubt where you think, what have I gotten myself into?
Feeling overwhelmed, anxious.
Definitely. People talk about hitting emotional walls, just feeling drained by the constant pressure and uncertainty.
And it can strain relationships too, I bet. Arguments over decisions, stress bleeding into family life.
It's not uncommon. Disagreements can happen with your partner, even with the build team. The pressure cooker effect.
Okay, but it can't all be struggle, right? There must be a point where things start to shift, where you see the dream actually taking shape. A turning point.
Oh, absolutely. There definitely is. Eventually, you move past the paperwork and the messy groundwork, and things start going vertical. You see real, tangible progress.
What does that look like? What are those milestones that feel good?
Well, the foundation being poured is big. It's the footprint, right?
Yeah.
But the framing going up,
Mm.
that's usually huge.
Hmm.
Suddenly, you can actually walk through the spaces. You see the rooms, the hallways. It starts to feel real.
That must be amazing to physically be inside the outline of your future home.
It's incredibly motivating. And then other things follow. Cabinets arriving and getting installed. Suddenly, the kitchen looks like a kitchen.
Right.
Wiring, plumbing.
Yeah.
Less glamorous, maybe, but crucial steps toward it being, functional. Even little things like light switches appearing on the walls.
You can really start to picture it. The kitchen island, the bathroom tiles you agonized over, the fireplace becoming a real feature.
Exactly. And that's when the emotional connection really deepens, too. Kids might start picking out their rooms. You start talking about, oh, we'll have Thanksgiving dinner right here.
It stops being a construction site and starts feeling like yours.
You might catch the smell of fresh paint, which is a big signal things are moving towards finishes.
Oh, yeah.
And that moment you walk in without needing a hard hat, that's a subtle shift, but it feels significant.
That's really the transformation, isn't it? From structure to home. Your home.
Absolutely. You look around, maybe the drywall is up, paint is on, and you start to think, wow, okay, all those struggles, the delays, the budget stress, they were part of getting here.
It feels different than just buying a pre-built house.
Totally different. It's not just some generic builder's house or something straight from a catalog.
It's yours.
Your home,
Yeah.
built from your ideas, born from your persistence, really.
Yeah.
There's a huge sense of ownership and accomplishment.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, building a dream home in the U.S., it's clearly a massive undertaking, not just construction, but a personal quest.
No doubt about it. It takes serious time, serious money, a lot of patience, and a big emotional investment to see it through.
There will be times, it sounds like, where it feels impossible.
That seems to be a common feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
But the key is remembering the payoff at the end, the reward for pushing through.
Because when you finally get those keys.
That moment.
Hmm.
People describe it as just incredibly satisfying, walking through the front door of your custom-built home for the first time.
And then the moments after. Sitting on the porch you designed, maybe with a coffee, watching the sunrise over this thing you helped create.
Those are the moments that really hits home. The joy, the achievement, seeing that initial dream standing right there in front of you.
So for anyone listening who's maybe in the thick of it right now or just starting to dream about building.
The message seems to be, don't give up. It'll be tough, yes.
Yeah.
But the end result, having a home that's truly yours, tailored to you, it's worth it.
Every detail matters, doesn't it?
Every single nail, every paint color, every choice you made, it all adds up to create something unique.
So keep going.
Keep building. Keep believing in that vision.
And remember, every great home, every space that feels truly special, it all starts with one bold, beautiful dream.